Hello, humans. Welcome to Barn Burner here on a Tuesday, the final Tuesday of April, a beautiful Tuesday here in the city of Calgary. If you enjoy winter, if this is your sort of thing, I said yesterday because I didn't realize this was coming. This is now where you live, Pinder. What'd you get? Yeah, footish. Flirting with a foot and spray.
Yeah, I don't know about a foot, but yeah. And I think like I saw it coming down last night late and it was like melting on contact, but you're like, there was enough coming. You're like, at some point this is gonna stop melting and it will start accumulating. There was a lot.
And I had said yesterday that I was probably to blame because I had taken the winter tires off White's car. I really doubled down yesterday as I went and bought a new lawnmower because I've been looking at the grass and seeing it. And the one that I have, about every 3 or 4 times, it wouldn't start, so I'd have to take the carburetor off and clean it all out and then put it back on, and then would start, and then shit would get in there again, and then you have to, So I was just kind of done with that. So you know what? Today's the day. Today's the day. Going to buy a new lawnmower, and literally, as I was loading it into the back of the truck, down she comes. Now starting to spit, and then spit and turning into snow. So,
thanks, Dean.
You're welcome.
Electric or gas?
That's a great question, Rhett. I did, as you know, I obsess about things.
Researcher.
I put way more thought. I'm a worrier, all that sort of stuff. I was very, very close to getting an electric, but I went back to a gas.
My neighbor has an electric there.
Yeah,
I like the sounds of it, or lack thereof.
Yeah. And I don't have I don't have a lot of lawn, which is why I thought electric would be great.
Yeah.
But then I just kind of went,
you're a power guy. Need the 8 horsepower.
And here's the thing, quite a bit more expensive in a lot of cases, the electric. So
much more.
So anyway, that's we're just like you. We're just regular folk people. We're just regular Calgarians, regular folk, just trying to live our lives. We get into it here now. How about you, Pinder? Lawnmower? Do you have a lawnmower? Do you have one of those? Because we
have rocks at the front and we have fake grass in the back, and I have a strip between the sidewalk and the road that's like this wide, so I have a push thing and I can do it in 8 seconds.
Oh yeah, I had
beautiful.
Yeah.
They suck because they rust and they get dull, but when you've got 8 square feet, you can deal with it.
Well, you could just take your angle grinder there, Ryan, and just kind of sharpen them up. Yeah.
My angle grinder. Right.
Yeah. Just put it on your, lock it in your vise or one of your workman, one of those benches that you get. Have you got one of those, Rhett? It's got the little things and the bench kind of opens up and you got to stick it in there and then tighten it up and then you can kind of,
maybe shop you're running if you don't have one of those.
Yeah, maybe even a Dremel might work, Ryan, because it's not a huge job.
Treadmill,
just to kind of. That's right. Yeah, put the thing on your treadmill. How we doing? It's we got Frank Seravalli coming up today. He was not there yesterday, but he'll be here today.
It's locking on us.
20 minutes, 25 minutes or so. I believe he is back in Vancouver.
He's going back and forth this year.
I think he is.
Salt Lake on the way in the middle because he went to the old. Look at us. We got hockey fans.
Well, that's why I'm not in Philly because Frank ain't there. So what the hell am I going to do?
It's a trickle-down effect.
How can you repay your debt if you're not there? He's not there. I get it.
Sad but true. Sad but true. So we'll talk to Frankie coming up in a little bit. We have the Pinder Report. And as you said in the pre-show, it's a lot of staving.
Oh,
there is much staving on the docket tonight.
It's Stave-a-palooza tonight in the NHL, Dean. We everywhere you turn.
Stave mania.
Staving.
Yeah. Huge night.
I don't know if you can call it stave yet. You have to call it opportunity to stave.
Yeah, I mean that's the hope and potential of stave.
Yeah.
Yeah, the attempt of staving is what we're calling staving. Yeah.
Now I'll say this. I want 3 staves. Islanders, you can just beat it.
Yeah, they can go away.
I don't need you to stave. To potentially get a hurricane injured or something like that, so they can just
it's true
hit it.
GTFO.
But I would like to see Winnipeg, Nashville, even Toronto. I'd like to see some.
Yeah, we need a little more drama there.
A little bit more, because I'll tell you what, we're very close to having some. This could be our last 4-game night of playoff hockey.
Which is way too soon.
And we could have another 4 on Thursday,
which is awfully early.
So.
When you know, come on now.
Weekend?
Awfully early.
We're a week and a half in because what was it? They started on a Saturday afternoon.
Just a week and a half. Like we're not.
Yeah. And we finally got a series get to 2-2. Holy shit! Someone sent a bouquet to the stars.
What was the
series? What a concept!
Would have been the potential for the first time since '87 or '84 or something that you wouldn't have had a series go 6.
Wild.
Yeah.
Especially because like we looked at the bracket and we're like, yeah, there's like 3 series that look lopsided and everything else. I have no idea.
So much parity. So much parity.
So
much parity out there. And yet it's been there's been some slobber knockers.
It's been a lot of not close in some of these.
Yeah.
There was slobber knockers last night.
Yeah. Certainly T's and P's to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, and now the great hand-wringing begins for the Lightning.
Started the game in Dallas, Vegas. A couple big cranks.
Yeah.
First shift was that?
Yes.
Bang. And then 10 seconds later, bang.
Blammo.
Bang.
Guys' legs flying over their head. You're like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, pretty
Flat
good.
on your
Load
back.
up.
Those are big hits.
Yeah.
You
Braden
don't see
McNabb.
that. You don't see that in December.
Yeah. Braden McNabb, Logan Stankoven, a bit of a size differential there.
Yeah.
However, Jamie Benn, Braden McNabb, a little more Evie Stevie. And what's that? Like a when you flip like kettle? That, when you get totally flipperooed like that.
That's
I don't know I don't know that Braden McNabb's been flipperooed like that very often. Yeah. Not a little guy.
No.
Oh, not a little guy. So yeah, no question about it. No question about it.
Kids were very happy with it as well.
Whoa. Yeah.
Well, they didn't know you could hit like that in hockey. It's actually illegal. No, it's in the rules.
No. Wait a minute. I thought there was no contact.
Don't you just skate around with your head down trying to make moves and practice your cellies and not get hit? Isn't that what hockey is?
Well, Jon Cooper was saying it's a no-hit league. No contact allowed in the league anymore. So he would be he'd be on board.
How's he feeling about the old goal reviews these days?
Not great. Yeah, not great. He is under some scrutiny. I don't know if you saw.
I didn't.
He referred. He was talking because there were two goals that were disallowed, that were called back. Yeah. Puck was in the net, and the referee said, "Nuh-uh,
take that back.
Goalie interference. We're going to take that back." Oh, again, goalie interference. Take that back. And Jon Cooper said after the game, now listen, here's the thing. That's 2 goals. Maybe we're tied going into the third. Maybe we're up by a goal going. I don't think he was saying we win the series if these goals count, but he was still saying in the context of what it was, if you take 2 goals away in a playoff game, that's going to make a big difference. And it may have. I mean, they lost.
Now, were they goals? That's the question I guess we have to get into. And should they be goals? There's another question.
And then
frustrating.
He said, and actually Kelly Rudy, it's not the same verbiage, but basically said, we're letting these goalies off. It's too soft. It's too easy for these goalies.
Oh, yeah.
How come in the corner we can smash and bang and clutch and do all this, and then you get to the top of the crease and not even a little bump, not a nudge, we got to let these goalies have to battle a little bit. But it was Cooper afterwards that said much the same thing, but then he topped it off with we may as well put skirts on them out there.
Oh. Jeez. What's wrong with the skirt? I like a good skirt. This time of year?
John's going to get himself canceled.
What's the problem?
Well, he used the skirts, talking about skirts, which is, because
it's a piece of fabric.
The connotation being that, women wear skirts and that, ladies, it's, you know what? I'm sure he would
connotate.
He'd want to take that back. I'm guessing if you were to ask him even shortly thereafter, certainly today, sober second thought, he'd probably say, "Hey, listen, that's not what I was getting at. I was just saying it sucks to lose, and I'm frustrated." And
see, not even you can dance around this.
Can't do it. But can't do it. No. Hey, cancel me,
please. Been waiting here. It's been ages. Fuck. How long ago was that plane joke?
So much harder on the internet now too. Jeez, I've been cursing and swearing and saying stuff. But yeah, I mean, going back to what you were saying, Ryan, it's time for reflection in Tampa Bay, perhaps. Now here's a team that let me lay it out for you.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most successful teams in the last decade. Cups
Clearly, yeah.
in 20 and 21. Stanley Cup Finals in 2021, 22. They have the reigning Art Ross Trophy winner.
Still good, right?
Their goalie has won multiple Vezinas or a Vezina off the top of my head.
One.
Hedman, I believe, has won a Norris. You have some very high-end hockey players. Your team has been very high-end. However, they have lost in the first round now in back-to-back years. Last year, Toronto in 6.
Toronto.
This year, Florida in 5. Victor Hedman has 1 year remaining on his contract. Yeah. Steven Stamkos is an unrestricted free agent. Jon Cooper has 1 more year on his contract.
Wow, that's run off quick, eh? Jeez.
Yeah. Now, there are some, Braden Point is signed until the end of the 29-30 season. You've got 5 more years of Nick Paul, Cirelli, 7 more years, Vasilevsky, 4 more years. So it's not like everybody's coming up, but Stamkos done, Hedman 1 more year. The coach, who is the longest reigning standing coach, we'll talk about that coming up in the NHL. So they have been a picture, a huge success story. And the question is, what does Julien Brisebois do? I think that Tampa has been regarded as a very intelligent team in terms of putting a club together. They have been very aggressive in the last few years too. They have sacrificed a lot of picks, and they've gone after it to create a dynasty, which I guess in a way they did, sort of, depending on how you
3 finals in a row. That's as close as it gets.
Depending on how you characterize a dynasty nowadays. But what do you do now?
It's funny, if they went to the finals every other year and spread it out, it probably would be
no dynasty.
Come to same amount of visits, but spread out longer makes it more appealing almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've been to the finals 3 of the last 5 years.
Yeah, and I go back to 14-15. You want to talk the last 10 years? Conference
you could go
final,
back to 2020.
conference final, conference final, then your 3 trips in a row to the final. Like, that's 7 out of 10 years where you've been in the Final Four or the showcase for the Cup. And that's as good as anyone's had in the last decade.
You wonder why they have a hard time maybe upping the intensity for a playoff run.
And the other thing is there are other good teams too.
Yeah. So
that
other teams have tried to beat them, as opposed to just, you know what, you guys, you got a hell of a team here. Off you go.
Yeah,
Round 3.
But what do? You let Stamkos walk. Why you overpay this guy now?
Well, I mean, I don't think you let him walk. What you do is you say, if you're coming back, here's the number. It's team friendly. It's not Stamkos friendly, right? You certainly would take him at
3.5.
Just scored 40, Rhett. 3.5's insane.
3.5?
Like 6.5 to 8.5.
Part of the issue, Ryan, though, yes, it's 40 goals and this and that. He's not the ringleader at all. He's a finisher.
You're not asking him to be. At
Pinder, can I have an opinion, or is only yours allowed today?
Fire away.
Okay. My opinion is, we just talked about, they aren't fresh anymore. That guy's getting old. Let someone new come in and have some younger and some cap space. Change up the dynamics of the room. If you want to go back, I believe it was Maroon that came in and told Stamkos to bait it, and get your shit together and how to be a better captain. Those are the rumors that I've heard. And I just think he's done all he can do there. He's not going to be the difference between them winning and losing. They're better off going another direction and getting fresh legs. You can't recycle it. We just said they've been going 7 out of 10 years, conference finals or something. You said, get some new guys in.
So was he not giving them the value? You think with that money you can do better than Steven Stamkos next year? Now, I'm assuming it's a short-term deal.
I think you need fresh look. Yeah, I think you need a fresh look.
Because I think that would be a mistake. He's been their best forward, you could argue, in the playoffs here. It's not like he has regressed heavily here he's got 5 goals. He's leading them in scoring here.
Free agent. He's going to want money. And I would say walk. That's my opinion.
So you would not, what would you offer him on a 1-year deal? How much money?
I wouldn't. I don't.
And I think that's a mistake, because I think he wants to be a lifetime Bolt. And I think if you say throw him out for, say, let's do 2 years at 7.5.
How often does that turn out?
I mean, this is a unique situation. I don't know that I see another situation like this. I mean, it's not Seabrook for 8 years is my point, Rhett. It's not Letang for max term. It's not Malkin for a long time. It's a 1, 2, 3 year deal is what I'm offering if I'm Julien Brisebois. And the problem is they don't have any kids in the system. They got the 4th worst system ranked by The Athletic for prospects. So you're not opening space for a young player in the organization. Their cap's in a spot where it's like, oh, you want to go outbid people on July 1 when, like,
I want really fresh faces. I need fresh faces in that room.
So who are the fresh faces? Who's showing up there?
Don't know.
And that's why I'm just a little more leery to say throw out the guy that just scored 40 and has 5 goals in his last 5 games.
You do you. You do you. You can be, if you're GM of the team, you can run it one way. If I'm GM of a team, I'll run it my way. I just
think you're making it too black and white. Like I'm with you in the sense that you can't give this guy term and market dollars. You can't go say, hey, Steve's going to get 5 times 9 for someone July 1. We got to give him that. Absolutely not. So but I think you got to give him like the 2 times 7.5, because I don't think you're going to do better with $7.5 million in free agency at all. I think you'll end up with worse talent, lower production for that money.
Don't spend it, save it, but use the cap space in a different way until the end. I'm just saying, like, who was it, Flame, that you always take a shot at that we signed here? Oh my God.
James Neal?
Brouwer. Now that was longer, but what was it? It was a retirement contract. That's what you're talking about with Stamkos. And even if he scores, he's not leading. He's supposed to be your captain. He's supposed to be the guy carrying the torch, leading you into battle, and he's on a retirement deal.
If it's a 1-year deal, I don't see it as a retirement deal at all. Like, Steve, you want to be a career Lightning. Let's go 1 year at a time.
Well, so are you having a fantasy world that he's going to do that? Or
I think there is massive value in him remaining a Bolt the rest of his career, and I think he knows that. I think the Bolts know it. I think Jon Cooper did mention it post-game.
What's the value to the Bolts? And this is where the touchy-feelies it doesn't work for teams. You do these things thinking there's mass. Oh, well, we're going to keep. How did the Ginla thing turn out for the Flames?
They didn't re-sign him. I don't know the comp there. I don't see what you're saying.
It is because they kept him around longer than they should have, was the point. And then it ends up.
So they've kept Stamkos around too long already, is what you're saying.
I'm saying if they keep him around longer, it's too long. They've lost 2 years in a row. They don't have Jam in the playoffs. Even though he's played well, doesn't mean somebody else can't. He's taking someone's ice. And you can't recycle the same team because you just saw them play that long. They're all tired and wore out. You need fresh faces in that room.
If they had a system, I'm totally with you. They just have nobody coming, and you're not going to get 40 goals for the amount of money that he theoretically can sign for.
The 40 goals are great, but are they the difference between what?
So I just look at what let them down, and Steven Stamkos isn't anywhere near the top of my list. Like, Vasilevsky's gone from elite goalie to middle of the pack, and that's why I still think this team can win, and they're not cooked yet. They had their arguably best or second best defenseman gone.
So just go with the same lineup is what you're saying.
What I'm saying is I don't think they're out of their window yet. You do.
I do.
And so that's why I'd bring him back on a 1 year and say, look, let's see if we can do this.
Why would he sign a 1 year deal, Ryan?
Why would he?
Why would he sign a 1 year?
Because the only reason he would do it is because he wants to be a career Lightning. And you might be able to argue, look, you could, if this doesn't work, you're not stuck.
And you know what? And you might be able to negotiate that. First of all, I think it's a fantasy land you're living in. Like 1 year deal for your.
If I want big money, if I'm doing a 1 year deal, he's going to be
insulted. He's going to go F you. 1 year deal.
And I think that's why it's not done.
I'm the career highest scoring. I'm the captain. I'm this. I'm that. I took a discount to stay here last time. 1 year. Okay, I just scored 40.
So 1 year is 2 reasonable, or is that still fantasy land?
I still think it's fantasy.
Is 3 reasonable, or is that fantasy land?
Maybe, but you're not getting a discount.
I think you are getting a discount, A, because of the tax climate, and B, because he's placing some value on playing in Tampa.
That's not a discount. Tax climate is not a discount to me.
It was when he was a free agent and Toronto offered him 11 and he went there for 8.5.
I know you're determined to win this, and I just said go ahead and run your team the way you run it, and you can go ahead. Is he going to be? Can you? Is he going to have a no move clause?
It's 35 next season. How many years should he get?
On
July 1, you're right.
He's bringing him back. I'm not bringing him back. I'm not bringing him back. I don't want him on my team.
So it's more about roster construction,
yes,
and moving forward than on taking a 40-goal guy out.
He's not going to give you a spot where you can trade him, right?
It's too late, right? He's a free agent this summer, yeah.
Right. I'm saying if he signs, he's getting a no-move clause. So now you're going to have a guy that's aging. He's not doing a 1-year deal. If you get him a 1 year at $5 million, okay. I still don't want him on my team, but that's fine. You're going to say, well, you're getting a 40-goal scorer for $5 million. How do you turn it down?
Deal.
Okay, yeah. I could. Okay, fine. But I don't think that's reality. And if I'm wrong, that's fine. I can be wrong. But my point is, this team has been the same team pretty much for a long time. They've had a ton of success. You could go back to watch the Kings, watch Chicago. There has to be turnover at some point.
So did the Kings make a mistake re-upping on Kopitar for 3 years in his 30s?
When did they do it? When did they sign Kopitar?
2 years ago, a year ago, something like that? Let me find it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just...
Does Kopitar play the same game?
No, but it's the same thing in the sense that you won with them, but your window, you're trying to transition to maybe to a new
over a whole bunch of the other roster. You're not able to turn over a whole bunch of the rest of the roster.
Kopitar's extension kicks in next year, 2 years, $7 million. That's kind of where I put Stammer, is a similar deal to that.
I don't want him on my team.
Yeah. So you don't like the way that he fits in that room, and that's fine. I don't have any intel on how he fits in that room. My concern would be if you're Julien Brisebois and you try to replace the value that he gives you, the money you're opening up, you can't do it. Like, I just don't think on July 1 you can replace what he gives you.
You don't need to go out July 1 though.
Then how do you do it? Because they don't have anyone in the system.
Why do you have
just
to
move?
replace
You move
them,
forward. You just keep your powder dry and be patient. If you're moving away from Stamkos, you're getting that cap space. You're clearly making a shift in your franchise, and I don't know that you're looking to immediately replace him if this is what you're doing.
So you're not going to spend the cap with Kucherov coming off an Art Ross, Vasilevsky, and Net.
Well, you can if you want, but to your point, who's out there? What are you going to?
This is why
is cap space important to everyone except Tampa Bay?
Well, it's crucial for them, especially if you think they can still win.
Well, you don't think they're spending. You don't think there would be an opportunity on November 1st or December 1st for them to make a deal that makes sense?
They can trade, but they've already traded their next 2 first rounders. Like, I don't know what
in a position where they would be winning this deal though, because they have cap space. Do you know what I mean?
I'm just trying to understand what you're adding to this team. Is it someone to help them win next year at the deadline? Because what are they trading away?
Maybe I don't believe that. Maybe I believe that guys like Kucherov and Point and Hagel and the other guys that are around can score enough for me, and I'm going to spend $2 million on energy guys that run around and can bang and crash with the Florida Panthers.
I guess the question is too. Now you've said, I think we're pretty clear on how you feel about it. Retro. We'll get Frank in here right away. But do you see the Tampa Bay Lightning as like next year they're going to, because it's back-to-back first round losses. Everyone's older. Hedman's got 1 more year. I can see, yeah, if you can get Steven Stamkos on a team-friendly deal, I don't think he signs 1. If he's getting a 1-year offer, I think he's insulted by that and he goes to market. But if you're doing 2 or 3 years at a lower number, I can see why. I can understand that. But I don't know that they would be any more of a threat next year than they were this year.
That's my point.
I think they'd be worse. That's my point.
So why do you keep Stamkos then?
Because he's better than what you're going to replace him with, is the whole the crux of my position here, is that if you feel like when I look at this roster, they're not missing top 6 players. They're not missing top pair defensemen. They're not missing a number 1 goalie.
Could you be avoiding a long-term painful rebuild?
2-year deal with
no, I mean, if you think they're going to be worse next year, then do you not see it as a team that's gone past its
they don't even
prime
have their
window?
First next year? It's still try to compete next year.
I think that's my biggest take on the Tampa Bay in general, is that they need new blood in there to create a new atmosphere and to create a new excitement. You can't trot out the same thing. It's the cycle of teams. Like you can be mad that Chicago signed Seabrook. My whole point of it is no team just goes to the Cup 3 years in a row, and 7 out of, they've lost twice, and then they're going to go back next year and do it again next year and do it again with the same group of players. It ain't happening.
Let's bring in Frank Seravalli, Daily Face-Off, our hockey insider. Frank, you can obviously tell what we've been chatting about. And I'm sure you've been chatting about it already today, maybe even last night. Stamkos contract coming, it's over, and Tampa Bay is over. Second straight year they're out in round 1. The main debate here, Rhett, is, to get you caught up to speed, Rhett's saying, thank you, Stephen, for your time. It's like leasing a car. It's been a very reliable car, great car, but the lease is up. I'm going to get another one. You can go this way, and we're all good.
Man, there's a lot of jokes to be made here.
Whereas Pinder saying, if you can get this guy on a short-term deal, he scored 40 for you. This isn't a player who's in clear and obvious decline. He led your team in goal scoring. He had a goal, did he score last night? Had a goal in every game but last night, I guess, in the playoffs. So where are you in on it?
Doesn't really matter where I'm in on it. My big thing is trying to handicap where Julien Brisebois' head is at. Because if you're thinking about this from the general manager's perspective, if I were in his shoes, I would be ultra aggressive trying to get to the bottom as quickly as possible. To stay mid, to be the 7th to 10th best team in your conference, and hoping and praying and wishing against Father Time that your guys can compete, even though you've got Vasilevsky and Kucherov and Point, that these guys can win playoff series. They can win 1 or 2. Are they winning 4 straight series anymore? I don't see the path for them to do it. And to stay 7th to 10th in your conference is just really an exercise in bleeping yourself.
So they can't be bad the next 2 years anyway. They don't even have first rounders. Like, what would be the point of when you've got Kucherov right now, Point right now, Hedman right now, Vasilevsky right now? Like, you're gonna try to be bad next year?
Well, no. That's kind of what I'm saying is you have to wait until those deals are up and then be as aggressive as possible. Then maybe trade away a piece or two as some of those other deals are expiring, and kind of push it all out at once, if that makes sense. So in the meantime, what I would advocate for would be sign Steven Stamkos to a 2 or 3 year deal at a reasonable figure that you feel like you can, at least in the meantime, give yourself some kind of shot.
They can't be bad. They're not bad enough. They don't have their firsts. They've still got guys in their prime. Like, it does feel like the reload is, if you don't bring them back, what are you doing?
I get it, and I'm with you, and I think he's still productive enough. Like, why are you going to be hurt if you sign Steven Stamkos to a 3-year, $6.5 million year deal? I don't think so. And I think the other really curious question that Tampa has to ask themselves is what happens next with Jon Cooper?
Yeah, we kind of threw that out. Cooper 1 more year on his deal. Hedman 1 more year on his deal, which is, it's kind of what I would say for Julien Brisebois. You can do a number of different things, but what do you think you are, and where are you going?
He's a wild card. I think he's the ultimate wild card in the NHL. I don't have less of a handle on anyone than him.
It's in Lou territory.
It's not even that. He's twice as aggressive as Lou Lamoriello.
Yeah, he
fired his director of amateur scouting in Al Murray, who, go look at his draft record. It's freaking unbelievable. And the highest paid assistant GM director of amateur scouting in the league, because he, quote, wanted a jolt to the staff. I mean, good luck handicapping what's next.
Yeah.
Where's Vasilevsky at? Do you still put him in that elite territory? He missed a lot of time with injury, and he was the second best goalie in the series, I think, by a significant margin.
I do, because look at his season. And it's kind of amazing that this team even made the playoffs, considering they started the year with Jonas Johansson in net. If you were to take 1 to 64 of the goalies in the league and rank them, Johansson would be 64th, and probably by a wide margin. So they rode with him until U.S. Thanksgiving. Vasilevsky didn't make his season debut until November 24th. It's really hard to just start playing games in late November and pick up like nothing ever happened. But I look at Vasilevsky and I go, okay, what did you show me when it mattered most toward the end of the year? And that's when he was really good again. I mean, if you look from beginning of March on, you're at 908. If you look at...
That's without Sergachev too.
Yep, without Sergachev. And then if you look at basically the last 3 weeks of the season, which I'm doing right now, 913. Like, for a guy that's a bigger guy that took some time to ramp up, he found himself late in the year. It's just he wasn't able to carry it over to the playoffs. And I also think they were not all on Vasilevsky. I think they were significantly overmatched.
And Red, I'm not trying to put you in a spot where but it's not you're not calling into his question his character or anything like that. It's just you want a refresh. He's the captain. He's been there his entire career.
Frank just said they weren't good enough to go up against Florida. So if you bring back Stamkos, what's changed? And I'm ready to turn the page. It's the life cycle of a good hockey club. You can sign them and you can stay mediocre for the next couple of years and you can appease people. You're not improving by bringing them back in the long run.
You could argue because you look at it, he has been a very good member of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He had 34 goals last year, 40
probably
this year,
on their Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, no question
Hall of
about
Famer
it.
Potentially, right?
Yeah. And you could also argue that if you said goodbye right now, you got the best of Steven Stamkos, and it would be, regardless of what, that it'd be the right move. You got everything out of Steven Stamkos that you could have for your money, and now you move on. But I agree. Do you think he's going to, like, 6.5? You think he would sign
for 3 years? That's the whole trade-off, right?
He'd be silly to not sign that.
Yeah. He's 35 next year.
You finish your career in Tampa. You've made a pile of money.
Retirement deal. Like, this is
but he's still productive. He's
productive because he can listen. He's a great finisher. He's not a driver of the game.
At 6.5, he doesn't have to be.
You've got a guy that's winning the Hart Trophy this year potentially. Like, what you need supporting pieces. You can't all be drivers.
The supporting piece could be $2 million that you find in a bag of pile of pucks over here.
Stop it.
Well, you're telling me that playing with Kucherov, guys aren't going to put up points.
Dude,
42 is a lot. It has to be Stamkos.
What $2 million piece is giving you 40 goals this season?
Sorry.
So here, let me read you his last 3 years: 40, 34, 42.
And they didn't win any of those 3 years.
Oh, I'm sorry. They just won 2 Stanley Cups in a row.
That's my whole effing point.
Wait a second. They're
not going to wind back the clock and have Stamkos hoisting the cup. I'm telling you.
This is not the Pittsburgh Penguins.
It's not the Pittsburgh.
Why is it not?
Because the Penguins haven't won a series in 6 years. Not one series.
When did that start?
That started 2 years after they won back-to-back.
Right. Okay, and now it's back-to-back first-round losses.
It's the same fucking thing, you guys. Sometimes, and I don't need to be right. I don't want him on my team. You guys want him? Sign him. You take him.
What don't you like about him?
I don't think he's a driver of the game. I think that it's a retirement deal, and we see these same scenarios play out all the time where we're going to hang on to guys, and then you're like, oh, this didn't turn out the way we wanted. And now you're 3 years further down. Let me
bring it back.
Now you're 3 years further into it, and you don't know what you've got coming behind. Instead, you could have a guy that turns into something in 3 years. That's going this way.
So next season, if you're the Calgary Flames, You can have Andrew Mangiapane at 5.8 million or Steven Stamkos at 6.5.
That's not the argument.
But
I'm not comparing Andrew Mangiapane's shitty money for Steven Stamkos. That you can.
But you're saying for Steven Stamkos, it's shitty money at 6.5 and
I'm
not
saying
worth it.
that this team has won with the same crew, and you're going to trot it out again, and they won't win again. You can't keep putting the same thing up. They had their wins.
But
it's
so
over.
To Pinder's point, though, what's the incentive for them to lose? They don't have any first-round picks.
The point is they aren't going to win or lose because of Stamkos. So you don't need them. Find something new.
He's not saying trade Stamkos because you need to. His contract is up. It's an easy way, if you want to move forward, to just move forward. You don't bring him back.
What did you just say about the assistant GM, the Scouty bullshit thing?
She wanted to give the team a jolt, right?
Oh, we want to give the team a jolt. Oh, hey, captain that just scored 40 or whatever. Get the out of here. How's that for a jolt?
I don't know if that's good PR around the league. It's like I think what Frank's
talking about. PR
what Frank's missing the part of this conversation.
Just won 3 stats. They're one of the epitomes of fucking franchises, and they're making a bold move. No, nobody's going to want to go to Tampa and play with Kucherov. Get the hell out of here.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if it was your buddy Reggie and a team treated him this way, you'd be losing your mind. And that's not how you treat legends of a franchise. That's exactly what you'd be saying.
I don't know that I would, because I'm on this. Yeah, as a friend and a teammate, maybe I would. But that's not what Brisebois' job is.
And I have one question. They're not trading him. They're just not bringing him back. There's no obligation to bring him back because he's been a great Tampa Bay Lightning, right?
What did the shoveler do to you today?
Shoveler's on her way to Philly to see you, and you're not there. Everybody,
you're not even there. How could you do it? How could you do it?
Ruin the whole plan.
And you know what? Credit to Pinder, because I tried to think of comps, and I guess Anze Kopitar would be. But a lot of times when you're talking about these star players who have been career they end their big money deal. You think of like Jonathan Taves, and what's going to happen with Crosby? Is he going to stay? Is he going to sign another? A lot of these guys, they have long-term big money contracts that end, and then it's over. I was trying to think of who might have been.
Crosby up next year?
Yes.
He's entering the last year of his deal and can sign an extension on July 1. And he will.
35 years old. That's also the consideration, regardless of how many years the guy's played and what he's done for you.
By the way, Steven Stamkos just turned 34. Not that it matters, but
February. He'll be 30. It's next year he turns 35, and it is what it is. He hasn't shown huge signs of aging. Like, there's a lot of guys that are out of the league much earlier than this. He's still looking like Stamkos, playing like Stamkos. The one piece you haven't illustrated to Frank is that you don't think he's a great teammate, or at least you've heard rumblings that he's not a good teammate. That's an important piece for Frank to hear.
I don't think that he was a good teammate. I think that maybe
I've heard the exact opposite. Guys love him.
Well, you go to your sources. I'll go to mine.
All right. Feel pretty good about mine.
Assistant GM Scouty bullshit thing is one that's tremendous.
That was an all-timer.
Yeah, I do like that one a lot. So hey, listen, Florida, whatever. At the end of the day, the Panthers head and shoulders better in net.
Oh, but let's keep the same team, Boo, because we won't have to play those guys next year. We'll be fine.
It's Florida. Everyone should start rebuilding. They're just the best team. That whole division should just start selling guys.
You still have a
Buffalo's not getting better, younger. Fucking Ottawa's not getting younger and better. Detroit's not coming up. Let's trot the same shit out there. I'm sure it'll be different.
Oh, you hope for a full year from Vasilevsky, and you want a full year from Sergachev.
What difference does that make? He played in the playoffs. He doesn't need to play the whole year. He was hurt in October.
You're not a wild card, I'd argue, if you have a full year of Vasilevsky and Sergachev and you line up against a Toronto or Boston, you might win. That's the difference.
Maybe. Boston's a pretty good team. Maybe you beat Toronto. Didn't last year.
No, but it's like they got the best team in the East, I think, probably, right? Like, doesn't mean you're like, wow, we can't beat them. Pack it up. Like, yeah, it's going to be fucking tough. That's a really good team, but it doesn't mean you can't do it.
I'm just saying, Florida's go ahead and do the same thing and have the same result. We'll see.
So
I've got a GM hat. You've got a GM hat. Who can wear?
It's true. Everyone's got their GM hat.
And Frank doesn't have his hat on. Everyone else.
I would never wear a hat.
Oh, that's
the only thing I have going for me. I mean, you can't cover that up.
and we got to get off Tampa Bay. People are like, holy Christ, there's a lot of Tampa Bay Lightning talk. But I guess just before we do move on, beyond Stamkos, who is a UFA, entering final season of both Jon Cooper and Victor Hedman, July. I mean, they can start negotiating whenever for those things and then get it signed. What happens there? Do you enter lame duck years on both guys, one guy, neither guy? What do you see?
I don't think Jon Cooper, after 3 trips to the Cup final, deserves lame duck status. You're either cutting him loose now and you're paying out the deal, or you are keeping him and extending him. That's how I view it. It's black and white to me. I think he's, for my money, he'd be the coach that I'd want coaching my team.
So if you can build a super Olympic team, he's your guy.
Yeah, I just think he's the NHL's Ted Lasso. That's the best way I can put it. He's not the biggest X's and O guy. He's got someone that's on staff that he trusts to do all that.
Makes good biscuits.
Just is the epitome of cool. I don't know. I'd run through a wall for that guy.
All right.
That'd be a jolt.
Well, that's another way that I think they're probably considering is, do we need a coaching change?
Yeah.
Why is everyone so worried about these lame duck years? Like I think we've seen 4 guys now get fired before their extensions kick in, which is essentially lighting a pile of money on fire.
The year they signed.
Yeah, no, before they've even kicked in. Like we saw it with Hackstall, we saw it with Daryl Sutter, and there was a couple other recent ones. Like who got run?
Renato.
McClellan, Ruff,
Renato in yet. Ruff, like,
and there was Mike Babcock, I believe, as well, had signed a deal. And
well, Babs is in the middle of his contract
before
it had tens of millions, but that was different. Yeah. You're right. No, with Columbus, sure.
With Columbus, yeah, he was.
And then like he didn't make it to training camp.
Yeah,
Sheldon Keefe's extension kicks in next year. That one hasn't even started, and that wouldn't be the craziest thing to go down given the heat in that market.
Craziest he gone.
Why would it be crazy to say, hey, it's the last year of your deal. We love you. Let's see how this season goes. You might want to change, and you've got some options. We might want to change. We got some options. I understand 10 years ago what the philosophy was, but it's just blowing up in all these owners' faces. I would say, like, no, you had a great year. Do it again. We're happy to pay you.
I think that's a shitty way to do business. I think this is the most volatile sport in terms of coaching changes. Consider this. Marty St. Louis, if Sheldon Keefe gets whacked, Marty St. Louis will be the 5th longest tenured head coach in the league, and he's been employed since February 9th, 2022.
Dude, this is even better. Spencer Carberry got hired last May. He's 16th in tenure. That's top half of the league.
Yeah, Ryan Huska's he's up there.
Huska, he's a gray beard. Yeah, he's been around forever.
It's wild. I think
why not to extend?
When that's the case, then you could make the argument business-wise that what you're saying is exactly right. My argument would be it makes you feel a whole lot better tossing a guy on the tarmac if you know that he's got at least some cash looked after.
Yeah,
I think it gives you more flexibility to be like, you know what? I'm making a change. It sounds funny to say, and owners hate it, but the general manager, he feels all warm and snuggly at night knowing that he's not putting this guy and his family out on the street.
Are you worried about Jon Cooper's family and the money he's made or not?
I'm not personally. But what I would say is that's having had these exact conversations with general managers. That's how they think about it.
Isn't the important thing right now for the Tampa Bay, talking about Jon Cooper and
we're going back to Tampa again. Holy,
can't stop.
This is my final thought on it.
Is this a Calgary show or what?
Oh, shit.
Well, what are we going to talk? Mangiapane?
Yeah, let's go. Hot takes, Frank.
The only thing I wanted to say was Brisbane's got to have a pulse on what the players in that room want as far as coaching. And I think those guys love that guy. But maybe I'm wrong. There's been
depends on your sources in Tampa.
Yeah, I guess.
Stamkos, bad guy, bad captain.
You know what my whole thought on that.
I've never heard anyone say a bad word about Steven Stamkos ever at any point at any time. Ever.
Well, and I'm not going to be the guy to do it either. Then he's
too late.
You just did.
No, I actually didn't say anything. Boomer said it.
Tough. With these coaching contracts, I don't think it's the teams that are rushing. I think it's the coaches who are like, look, I'm not going to be a lame duck.
So what
I've done
you gonna set your paycheck down?
I think that you know how that works. Oh, they wouldn't
they'd apply pressure for
they
sure.
wouldn't give the coach a contract extension. Imagine if that the Tampa Bay Lightning aren't willing to sign Jon Cooper to an extension or whatever the case may be. There just can't be a reason. Why is Buffalo signing Granato? Why did New Jersey need to sign Lindy Ruff? He was going to be fired 10, 15 games into the season last year. I mean, I'm with you. It doesn't, it's ridiculous. There's this many guys that are fired before extensions kick in.
You can't tell me that there aren't good coaches that are also just whacked whacked for the sake of it.
Of course they are. That's the whole point.
Like I look at Jay Woodcroft.
You just need to change him regularly anyway.
Yeah, Todd McClellan, I think, is one of the 5 best coaches in the NHL. Why he's out of work today, I can't tell you.
It's great. I did a little kind of because it's now 17 coaches have been changed since the end of last season. So I'm like, let's have a little,
and there's more to come.
Yeah,
so let me give you some. I'll give you some inside nuggets. Right now, there's a power struggle ongoing between Kyle Dubas and Mike Sullivan, where I believe Kyle Dubas has said to Mike Sullivan, "We need to change out your staff. Need to get rid of some assistants." And Mike Sullivan has essentially said,
"Nope.
If you want to fire my assistants, then you're going to have to fire me."
Good for him.
Okay, so
he's just got a new extension.
I'm going to write that down. He's got an extension, yeah. Okay, I'm writing this down.
Jack is absolutely jacked. He's clapping, fist pump. Yes, off mic. Like he's done with Sullivan.
Yeah. Okay, so Pittsburgh.
But Sullivan again would be considered one of the best coaches available then. Like
100%.
So then the next speculation is, well, if Mike Sullivan was a free agent, how quickly would Tom Fitzgerald and the New Jersey Devils act?
Like instantly.
Like,
because Travis Green is still
give your right nut to do it.
Yes.
Is he still?
Yeah, they're calling Dubas saying, "I don't trust this guy. This guy, I would be careful with this Mike Sullivan character. You don't want to be tied down with this guy."
Yeah, I would say that Boston connection probably runs pretty deep between Mike Sullivan and Tom Fitzgerald. Okay, I don't know that good old Toronto boy Kyle Dubas is weighing in on that.
He's coached Pittsburgh since 15-16, so you're coming up on what, year 9 here.
9.
The Seinfeld theory. The Seinfeld theory. I read about this the other day, Frank. Huh? 9 years. That's everything after 9 years.
The 9-year itch.
God, he's got a 3-year extension that kicks in next year. Of course, Sullivan's going to get run.
So how did the shoveler make it past 9?
Okay. You mentioned Toronto.
That's
obviously
twice. 2 shoveler references in one segment.
Settle down,
we leave the shoveler stuff to Pinder, getting the conversation awkward. So if you could just leave that to Ryan, that'd be great. Sheldon Keefe, obviously.
See how the series goes. Ever been fired during a series?
I was gonna say the question appears to not be when, but it appears to be how quickly after.
I'm actually like, could it happen? Is it legal? Could the Leafs can Sullivan or not Keefe and have Berube on the bench?
You could do whatever you wanted.
That would be unbelievable.
It'd be crazy if a team, you know what? We're making a coaching change mid-series.
That'd be wild.
We already know who we're bringing in for the next guy, and we're just going to do it.
So if Sullivan and Keefe got run, you would have 6 guys gunned before their extensions with multiple years kicked in. That is absolutely wild.
Keefe deals with Dubas.
It
was Treliving's first move last summer. Yes, he had 1 year left, and he got that off his desk. And Treliving's starting to take some heat here.
They may not be alone.
Yeah.
Like we still are dealing with interim situations in St. Louis and LA.
Yeah.
I mean,
what's Ottawa?
And New Jersey.
Was the Hackstall thing we don't like Hackstall or we've got somebody better in mind?
The players revolted is the word.
Yeah, I think there was some significant friction there.
Was he done because he didn't rub people right the first time, did he?
Didn't go great in Philly. Year 2, they make the playoffs in Seattle, but this year, yeah, it's you'd know more, Frank. But there was people reporting that I think it was Emily Kaplan, maybe, saying in exit meetings, significant parts of their team just said, "Yeah, I'll ask for trade if he's here. It's that simple. So like, bring him back if you want. But here's my point.
You got the old Daryl special,
yeah, which is frustrating, but it also like coaches don't last like players do." they don't have the upper hand on these things. It might not feel right to those also, guys, but like, what's Haxtell done to deserve to stay anyway? Well, how did he get that fucking extension? What has he done? He had one fluky year.
He took a second-year team to the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, and people, all those guys
people in Calgary have survived on much less than that.
Oh yeah,
and there are a lot of franchises that would kill for knocking off the defending Cup champs in your second year of franchise history.
Sure.
But you'd also happen to do it in a year in which every single guy on that team had felt like hit career highs.
Yep.
That would never be duplicated. And we all went into the season thinking that Seattle was a real logical regression candidate.
Yep.
And then they did that, and then you gong him anyway.
Yeah.
Now it was, and we have it, but we don't need to play it. But excuse me, Emily Kaplan of ESPN. She was on last night on the broadcast and got into that. She also kind of alluded to the fact that you've got Ron Francis in Seattle, longtime Kane. His connections with Rod Brind'Amour are deep, and Carolina with their owner Tom Dundon, not the hungriest to go and give out extensions and pay big money. Is there, or what's the likelihood as you see it, the potential of a Rod Brind'Amour exit in Carolina and an entry in Seattle?
5%.
Okay.
Seems high.
So you're saying there's a chance. Look, Rod Brind'Amour ain't going anywhere. He could talk tough about contract. It's not really about money for him anyway. His whole issue is he wants his assistant coaches to be well paid and taken care of.
Mark Daniels?
He doesn't sign until those guys are all done and taken care of. That's what happened last time around.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Dundon was on my podcast last season and said that if it were up to him, Rod Brind'Amour would be his coach forever. I know, I feel like some owners have said that before, but in this case, I believe that to be sincere. And I don't care what the connection is. I don't see Rod Brind'Amour leaving Carolina. If he were to leave the Canes, I don't know that Rod Brind'Amour is leaving Raleigh, North Carolina.
So why is it a problem that Rod Brind'Amour is coaching in his free agent year? Like you said, you wouldn't do business this way. Like Carolina's been fine. He's coached his ass off. He's probably going to
know the guy.
I think knowing him is important. I think trust is another thing. And all the other things that I just mentioned of Rod Brind'Amour specifically, his family's rooted there. I just don't see him leaving.
Yeah.
You know who else? It was Jeff Daniels. Sorry. You guys don't
know.
Yeah,
so I was wondering.
Jeff Daniels is. Jeff Daniels was with Florida when I started there. And he got traded, I think, to Carolina or got picked up by Carolina. 27th season with the organization.
Let's keep it in this century, okay?
Kimby Daniels. Now, here's the thing I don't want to do.
There's a reference.
Yeah. What I don't want to do is go back in time a week because we had a conversation about the Colorado-Winnipeg series. And, you know,
and how I got it wrong?
There was what I don't need to do is set Pinder up for anything. I do not need to put anything on a tee for Pinder. But he was skeptical. Now, did you took Colorado to win the series, right, Ryan?
Yeah. And the game one we were all reacting to, and we had one game to react to. It was classic what we do in this industry. We don't have more than one game to look at. We can only look at the one game. But even in that one, they almost came back and won. It was 7-6 at the end, wasn't it?
7-6. And I think a lot of it had to do with how Georgiev looked.
Yeah.
And the question marks around Georgiev coming in and all of that.
I think you're underplaying it a little bit because it also had something to do with the season series in which the Jets
you said it was a nightmare matchup.
3-0, 17-4 outscored the Avs. They had 7-0 was the score within 10 days.
That's 4 games of sample size. Like it felt not enough to make a judgment, but if you have to make a judgment, that's the way you would go.
So give us the subsequent games after game one. It's like, oh, we're not going to see that again. And then we kind of did see that again, except it was the other way around. And it was all Colorado. It feels like it has not been close. And Hellebuck has been lit up and the Jets can't keep up. we read the quote yesterday from Scheifele. It's like they just keep coming. It's over and over and over. They're coming in waves. They have been overwhelmed by Colorado.
They have been, and there's an interesting, I don't know if friction is the right word, but really seems like there's some pushback between players and coach. And I don't know what that means because there was some last year too. And Rick Bowness clearly has what he thinks is the right way to play against this Colorado team. And the Jets just seem to be, to your point, overwhelmed by that. It's a really weird spot that the Jets are in, because you think back to last year, they did win the first game of the series against the Vegas Golden Knights. And then they lost 4 straight and got rolled. Do they just bow out again, go out with a whimper? I wouldn't be shocked.
They just look like there's a skill deficit there, doesn't it? Like, if you can't keep up, I don't care what system you're playing.
You know, that Georgie 5, he doesn't have to make saves because they don't get the puck. They don't get to play with the puck, it seems like at times. Like,
they won a cup with Kemper. They can do this with Georgie 5 if their stars are good, right?
I have no words. I'm sorry.
With which part? Georgie 5?
That's Noodles laid that one out for us.
Wasn't that who did he say? Is that Rob Brown or was it O-Dog that had the
Brownie?
Yeah, it was Rob Brown. It's the Georgie the 5th. But yeah, it's, you know what it is? There's a lot of these series that we thought, the Battle of Florida, 6 or 7 games, what a dogfight it's going to be. Colorado, Winnipeg. It's a shame that one of these two has to leave after round 1.
Boston,
Man, round 1 is always so good.
Round 1 has been shit.
It's not been what we've
one series that got to 2-2. Everything else is 3-1 or 4-0.
Yeah.
And so we've got 4 elimination games tonight. I wouldn't be shocked if all 4 series were closed out tonight. And maybe this has been my working theory for a long time. And I if I've said this before, stop me. The NBA playoffs are the exact opposite of the NHL. The first round sucks in the NBA, and then as you go on, usually the finals is the best round.
Yeah.
Forever in the NHL, it's been that the first round is elite, like March Madness, and then once you get toward the end, it's like, a lot of people lose interest. It's very market specific, and the hockey, these guys have just beat the absolute crap out of each other, and it's not really even that good toward the end. So what if next round is absolute, like Rangers, Canes, like you could take that and inject that squarely into my veins.
And give me some Dallas, Colorado,
Vancouver, Edmonton.
Hell yeah.
Like all 4 second round series could be unbelievable, even though the first round sucked. So I'm not going to write off the playoffs by any stretch of the imagination. And I got a lot of heat from Vancouver fans because I said this on air here yesterday. I'm in Vancouver now. This has been the most dreadful first round series of hockey that I can remember covering in person.
Explain.
The games themselves have been absolute
low event, right?
The Canucks had 12 shots on goal total in game 3. It has the hockey itself. Like, have there been interesting storylines? The Canucks on their 3rd goalie in 4 games? Sure. What's up with Quinn Hughes? Why is Elias Pettersson on a milk carton? All those things are intriguing, but the actual play itself, outside of that 2-minute flurry to close game 4, has been, what are we watching here?
Because even that Vegas-Dallas game 3, shots were 2-1. I think Vegas had 10 shots at the halfway point. It was all Logan Thompson was holding them in. I thought it was, I think it was better last night. It was very physical, but to your point, there was not a lot of drama in the Florida series at all. Toronto, Boston, I thought for the first 2-3 games.
Yeah. 4 was
pretty good.
Clunker.
And yeah, game 4 was
Is that what we've gotten to now? Is like where we're picking out the little moments that
you know what it is.
Good? Like,
I'm helping you. I'm establishing your point. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Because the Nashville, Vancouver was no good in game 1 and then scored 2 in a hurry and they win that one. And they had no business winning 2 nights ago. Goodness.
So why is that series so dull for Frank? Is that the way that the Preds are making it, or is this what Rick Tocchet wants to teach his club?
I think it's the way the Canucks are making it.
Yeah.
The Preds are trying to force them to dump it in, and the Canucks aren't a dump it in team.
Yeah.
And then at the other end of the ice, the Canucks, who are usually pretty good in their own end moving the puck, have been getting absolutely hammered and punished by a forecheck that at times sends 3.
Jeez.
And
we've got Frank. I was just saying, we've got the graphic of Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson. They're up 3-1 in a series where they've gone through 3 goalies, and their 2 star players have not been great. Miraculous almost that they're in a position to close this thing out tonight.
That's probably the best part if you're Vancouver, and the scariest part for Nashville is the Canucks haven't played a good game yet, and they have a chance to close it out. They're going to be ultra motivated, not just to get rest, but as JT Miller framed it yesterday or 2 days ago, what's at stake for you? And he goes 8.5 hours of less flying.
Yep.
Never seen a team come out with that on the line and said, yeah, you know what? Let's roll over today. We could always win in game 6.
Similar for Edmonton in the sense that you don't want to get on that plane to go back to LA too. And that's obviously not tonight, that's tomorrow. But I mean, both these teams have dodged some bullets to be in a spot where they can close out early. Don't mess that up. Lots of teams are getting rest right now. Florida's resting. Carolina's soon to be resting. Rangers are resting.
Someone hands you a gift, take it.
Yeah.
The meltdown in Music City, they had 0 business winning that game. In fact, I was packing up my gear in the press box and walked to the elevator. I was like, this game's over.
Jeez.
And then they scored with 6 or 8 seconds left. I said, oh, I guess I better go back to my seat now.
Yeah, I better go sit back down. Yeah.
Log back in.
I like it, Frank. You're going to get the Tootsies before the lineup, but like, that's nice. That's
savvy.
I have an admission to make. I feel pretty guilty about it, actually.
This is a safe space, Frank.
For the first time in my career, I went to Nashville and I did not have 1 drop of booze.
Oh my God.
That's just fucking.
I was so sick last week. I was like, I cannot go to Nashville and pollute myself. Honestly, I just couldn't. I'm still not functioning properly. So I'm really.
Well, enjoy Vancouver, Frank.
Yeah, we're all out of time, Frank.
Check in next week.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Frank.
What a segment today.
Yep. What a segment. Disappointing.
Glad he didn't start with that.
Yeah, I would have just ground that thing to a halt.
Frank Seravalli, our hockey insider.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, good stuff.
Dry insider.
Yeah. Went to Nashville, didn't have a drop of booze.
Did he want us to be proud of him? Like, what was he?
That's hard to do. You know what? In fairness, hey, listen, he didn't sound like he was proud of it. He said he had an admission to make, so
I guess. Face your demons.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, Wendy's. Let's talk about Wendy's. It takes hard work and determination to bring home the cup. Luckily, all you need to do to bring home Wendy's rewards is eat. Download the Wendy's app, place your favorite order, and you'll be well on the road to victory. And by victory, we mean free food, obviously. And hey, while you're racking up reward points and eating your way through the menu, you'll also find plenty of deals along the way to keep morale high. So what are you waiting for? Download the Wendy's app today and start earning on every order.
Things are tough in my Wendy's world, fellas. I just want to talk. I'd like to share with you some stuff like Frank. So the unsung hero of the Wendy's menu is the spicy chicken sandwich. It's a must in my world.
Staple.
Yeah, for some it's not.
Bam, first order. First thing, spicy chicken. What can I get you? Spicy chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
The issue I'm having, I love the Dave's Double, but the Baconator is really something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking away with 3. The last 3 times, 3 sandwiches or burgers, whatever you want to call it.
I'm going to call up my win.
I'm a 3-bagger.
You're a three-banger. Can I walk you through my Wendy's dilemma?
Absolutely.
Because like you said, I am every visit, it's the spicy chicken sandwich. That's my Wendy's go-to. And I need to get the combo because a lot of times I don't need fries or the drink. But I need the poutine because their gravy's very good. They have a very good gravy. And then they've got the junior bacon cheeseburger, which is like $2.50 or something. It's costing you money not to get it.
Basically, yeah.
And I love the chili. So I gotta get Now I gotta get a chili.
I don't even bother with the chili because it's too much. I want the chili. I can't do the chili.
Yeah, I'll and sometimes it'll just go in the fridge, and then later that day, that's right. I grabbed the chili. I'm so excited.
Veteran.
It's way to go, Wendy. She knows how to make a burger. I'll say that.
At least with the chili, you can put it in the fridge and eat it later. I can't do that with a burger.
No, it's going down the hatch.
Bacon. It's got to be eaten hot.
Yeah,
and then it's just coma.
Yeah.
You say Wendy makes a good burger. Is it Dave making it in honor of Wendy? Like, what's going on there? Who's the real brain?
Nicky's like, do you get the nuggets? I do. I love the nuggets. I think I do enjoy them.
Good nugs there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Nuggets are good. They got that new cinnamon bun.
Sorry,
stuff over there. The pull apart.
For opening up, but
no, you're good.
I know we're used to.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight you on this one, Rhett.
So good. Decent.
Good show, guys. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow, boys. See you tomorrow.
Is it Friday?
No. No, long ways from Friday, actually.
Could be. Feels like a Friday.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Friday.
Wouldn't it be fun to be able to run your own team, see how it does? Like, Pinder's so out to lunch on this. I just want to prove I'm wrong.
We both want to prove each other wrong, and we both think each other out to lunch. That's what makes the show beautiful. Honestly though, it's a great illustration of how difficult these situations could be, because don't think the owner doesn't have an opinion on whether Stamkos gets to wear another jersey or not. Like, he fucking does, big time. Yeah. That's a guy that was on billboards before he even played a game.
Where's Stamkos?
Where's Stammer? Got to get him. Where is he? And I guess really the crux of it probably lies in what we don't know, Rhett. If he is a man to shitty teammate, they probably walk. And if he is a follow me into battle great captain, you probably have to bring him back. But I don't have any intel there, and yours didn't match with Frank's, and you're probably not both right. I don't know. Or maybe you are. Maybe it's just like some guys love him, other guys are like, can't deal with this guy.
Or maybe it was when you were young, you were one thing, and when you've gotten older, you can be another thing. Or the
opposite. Yeah, sure. Totally.
Right? Like, guys grow into that role as well.
Do you guys want to do the quick game of the coaching thing, the coaching carousel?
Sure.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's crazy, but we'll try.
If background music, though, I'd really like background.
We can't.
Jack, can you get the symphony going, please?
Just some random bullshit we can't play.
I have sad music and hero music. And Mariah sings during it.
Probably sad music, right?
Oh, all right, fine. Okay, so I guess if you know it, ding. We need the fired coach and the hired coach.
Okay. So you're gonna name the team, or are we just going anywhere we want to go?
San Jose.
David Quinn fired.
And yet to be hired.
I believe so.
Yes.
I would have. Yep. I knew that.
Yep, I knew that. To be fair, if we had to name 5 Sharks, I don't know how many people passed that test, including the coaching staff and the GM.
The Edmonton Oilers.
Our boy Woody.
Woody got canned, and
Knobloch came in.
Knobloch came in. I saw a thing yesterday. Woody, he hasn't really watched much Oilers hockey. He's focused on the rest of the league.
Really? Eh? I don't think he has to worry about getting hired by the Oilers.
Friggin' loser.
Poor guy.
The Nashville Predators.
Well, it's been Brunette all year.
This is the one from the end of last season, right? It's because there's it's over already. It's too loud.
There. Laviolette? No. Who was the coach there?
Who was the coach there? Oh, it was it Hines? Yes. John Hines.
That recently?
Mm-hmm.
You sure? Or you guessing?
I'm guessing.
Okay.
But that feels right.
It feels right, but I couldn't. If I
could be wrong on that.
Life on it, then
He definitely was there. I don't.
Yeah, I think it was Hines out, Bruno in.
Okay.
I guess I should have these answers if I'm going to conduct the contest.
I was going to say.
Who can call you on it?
I'll let Ryan continue. See, it should be Jack who's doing this, but he's probably
eating the Wendy's
corner. So excited about
the Steelers just putting pins into Mike Sullivan doll. Yeah, it was John Hines till 2023.
Los Angeles Kings.
See you, Todd McClellan. And in the interim, Jim Hiller and the DJ Smith associate, maybe?
Jim Hiller. Yeah. The New York Islanders.
Out. Lear.
Who?
Wasn't it Lear?
He was the long head, highly touted guy that was always going to take over. Oh my God, it's killing me now. How do we? And obviously Patty Roy comes in.
Lane
Lambert. See, they're both from Saskatchewan.
That's right.
There's the Lear brothers and the Lambert brothers.
Right.
And then Patty Roy, as we know.
Yeah.
St. Louis Blues.
Out with Mr. Berube, in with the guy played in Tampa Bay a little bit. Oh, come on, brain. Work.
Coaching their affiliate.
Springfield. Came from Springfield.
Springy.
Bannister.
Drew.
There you go. Washington.
Spencer Carberry in. Peter Laviolette out.
Correct. The New York Rangers.
Peter Laviolette in. And Gerard Gallant?
Or was it David Quinn?
Was Gallant.
Was it Gallant?
Yeah.
So Quinn, then Gallant.
Then Laviolette. Thanks for, hey, look at Jack springing into action
over there. He's getting ready for Pittsburgh here.
Morning, Jack. Good to see you. Minnesota.
Out, Evanson. Get out. I don't want to fire you, but you're out.
Yeah. Bye, Dino.
I don't know
who'd they bring in.
Ooh. John Hines.
Shit, John Hines. That's right. He was on that heater when they passed through Calgary.
That's right. Buffalo.
See you, Donnie.
Lindy
back. That is wild.
Right stuff.
Like, it's crazy, right?
Quinn was before Gallant. It went Quinn, Gallant, Laviolette in New York, by the way. So
Jack had it. Attaboy, Jack. New Jersey.
Lindy out. And
Trav.
Old Greener.
Interim.
Terming.
Fourth line, Elias Pettersson, Travis Green. Oof.
Calgary.
Bag skate till players hate you, Travis Green.
It's going to help them.
Flames?
No, I have no idea.
Seattle, we just talked about. Hackstall on. The Ottawa Senators.
Jacques Martin in. DJ Smith out. And
Seabus. Yeah. Columbus.
How did DJ Smith get canned in Ottawa and still end up in LA?
He got canned first, and then McClellan got run.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I guess, yeah. Okay.
And again, they're still looking there. That's Martin's plugging the hole. He's not the full-time guy.
He's a hole plugger.
It feels like he's been there too long as a hole plug.
I didn't like that idea from the get-go. Get your guy. No. Go get your guy. What do you want to teach another system for the guys over the course of the year? You want a third system to teach
maybe
them?
Steos is using this as a learning opportunity and taking his sweet-ass time just because he wants to get used to running 100 interviews or something.
Or how about this? Hey, Craig Berube, we come on in. We want to have you.
Love you.
And if Craig's, I'm not doing anything right now. It's the middle of the season. I got to get to the end. My kids are I got stuff going on. And like next year, I'm going to get to the end of the season, and then we're going to revisit. Is there a chance? If not Berube, then somebody. Then
they're going to hire somebody.
Like maybe a coach that he wanted wasn't ready
immediately. They should have walked. I think Ottawa was in town when Berube got fired, and they should have said, "Just right here."
Weren't they in St. Louis or something weird like that? Because Noodles was on the road with them doing color. Yeah.
Yes, like when Berube had his knapsack and he's walking by the room, like they grab him. Where are you going? In here
with us now.
Yeah.
Here's $1 million till the end of the year.
They're sliding the name DJ Smith off the coach's door. Columbus.
Well, Bab's gone, and then Pascal Vincent.
Pascal Vincent.
Tough go there.
Anaheim.
The name.
Aikens get canned last year.
Dallas Aikens. And Greg Cronin.
Cronin, yes. Thank you. Cronenberg.
Yeah.
It's a delicious white beer.
Cronin the Barbarian. Which had to have been his brother, right? Sean Cronin?
Yes.
Yeah. So there you go. That's 17. And to Frank's, if New Jersey doesn't keep green, if Toronto guns Keefe, and if this Pittsburgh thing, make it a nice round 20 in 1 year. Wow.
That's insane.
And then, yeah, like you talk about with Carberry, if you go back, because the year prior, because I had to check, Rick Tocchet came in near the end of last season. And shoot, the guy in Detroit, the guy
Penguin.
there. Yeah, that's see, I didn't want to say it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the guy, that guy. He was in Tampa Bay, assistant coach. Anyway. Tough to be a coach, but it's the greatest thing because you get fired and you get all your money.
They got that paid leave thing figured out.
So good. Shit.
You know what? We're not really thrilled with the work you're doing, but your contract's up in a year, so we're going to give you another 3 years.
Going to give you 3. And are you around in about 4 months? Because we're probably going to fire you.
Yeah.
So you're signing me today, but you're firing me right away?
That's correct.
There's a good chance. Yeah. Yeah.
Nailed it.
So you're sure you want to fire me? And your agent's like, shut the fuck up.
This is a payday.
Shut up.
Derek Lalonde.
Thank you. There you go.
So, and it wouldn't be crazy to see 2 or 3 more. Like, never mind the interims. Or maybe do include the interims. So you got Ottawa, Seattle, San Jose, and maybe like you get a Toronto, maybe Los Angeles. Like Ryan Husk is going to be like in the top 10 in tenure here coming into a second year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Mad Rose Pub. Today's not a patio day. So we're going to go inside. We're going to go inside to watch the 4-banger of NHL playoff hockey tonight.
Oh, the Tuesday funeral. This could be good.
Mad Rose in Royal Oak. 20 beers on tap. Kid friendly. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It's great food. We've been telling you for months and months, and you've gone and you've agreed. You've backed us up on it. Yeah, guys, it's unbelievable food. We're like, yeah, we know. Full entrees, burgers, pasta, some of the best pizza you're going to get in the city. The dough and the sauce made fresh every single day. You can go to their website to check out the full menu, specials every single day. madrose.pub. Maybe you want to get some delivered. Not often that a pub is going to be delivering food, right? That you would go to a restaurant or something like that. But Mad Rose, it's steady skip and door, that whole thing. They're just going in and out because the food is truly that good. 15 Royal Vista Place in the Northwest. Mad Rose Pub, our buddies in Royal Oak.
Guess what today is for the special? Because it's Tuesday.
Wingies?
$9.99 for a pound of wings.
Let's go wings.
Fried then baked.
Brett, are we going?
I would, but I'm.
Where are you?
Tough travel day.
No, you just get on that ring road. You'll be fine.
Oh,
it's really quick from your place.
Travel day.
Yeah. Why didn't you go to was it Pittsburgh? Philly?
New Jersey?
I just I didn't want to miss a show.
Right.
And commitment.
Yeah.
My profession.
Got it. You'll tell me when you're ready. Let's do the Pinder Report. A presentation of Village Honda. Village Honda, huge selection of used pre-owned vehicles, all makes, all models, all budgets. 90 units on site. What? 500 more inside the dealership group. It's why Village Honda, when you go in there, you know you're getting treated great. And you know the selection's not going to be beaten. And you know that the vehicles, It's reliability, it's comfort. It's, I mean, especially on the pre-owned, they go through those things front to back. 1.2 million point inspection on every pre-owned vehicle.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of points. It's a lot of points. Village Honda, your dealership for life, and they present the Pinder Report.
Let's start with some of the results from last night that we clearly have not even broached yet. Good night, Tampa Bay Lightning. Rhett, do you have it? Never mind.
Now, is that Steven Stam? Is it possible Stammer played his last game as a Tampa Bay Lightning?
Only if I'm GM.
I think it's absolutely a possibility.
Well, you've got your GM hat
final
on.
Score.
Yeah,
final score. Elsewhere, we got a 2-2 series finally. Thank the Lords. Dallas rallies to come back and win 4-2. It was 2-1.
And 1-0.
There you are. Multiple leads for the Golden Knights. Not bad. Let's look at Tampa here. That's who's up. Really, they don't pick till round 5. Dumbo was a deadline acquisition. Duclair was a solid deadline acquisition. Watson, Mott, those are depth pieces. It's really all about Stammer, I suppose. And Sergachev plays game 4 and 5, but that's it. Not a lot of cap space, Rhett. $11 million. A lot of holes to fill.
They had their wins. I don't feel
they got jewelry. As for Alexander Barkov or Sasha, call him what you want. A monster in an elimination game last night, doing everything. 21.5 minutes, 2 goals, primary helper, 4 scoring chances off his stick, 6 given to other teammates. And when he was on the ice, it was a 4-0. Oh, the good way for the Panthers. Shots 22-7. He's the new Bergeron, boys. There's not Selkies for anyone else unless Barkov's hurt or retires. That's the new rule.
It has no bearing on anything. But did you see the empty net? Verhaeghe makes it 5-1.
I saw,
I had the Verhaeghe final goal scorer of the game. I'm like, how about this? What's Cooper pulling the goalie at 5-1? It's 5-1, John.
Come on.
The difference between 5-1 and 6-1.
Mikola puts it into the empty net. Cost me a lot
had
of
the
money,
first
John
empty netter, and then
Coop.
Verhaeghe had the second empty netter. You'd be singing Jon Cooper's
I didn't
praises.
sing, hey, John, way to pull
Johnny,
that
good work.
goal. It's never over till it's over.
Never
baby.
over till it's over.
But right now, he's an idiot.
So the Panthers move on. They will sit and wait. They get the winner of the Bruins and the Leafs. We could find out who that is as soon as tonight, although we all have a very strong inkling of who is favored to come out of that series. Congrats to the Cats. And tonight, it could be Funeral Tuesday. As here is your slate. Leafs could get eliminated. Islanders could get eliminated. Jets could get eliminated. Predators could be eliminated. Ooh, it's a lot. And so we'll get into each. Let's start with Toronto-Boston. What do we know? Well, Austin Matthews, a full participant at skate. He hasn't been doing that of late ahead of Game 5 in Boston, but not yet confirmed to be in.
I was watching our buddy Noodles yesterday, guys. Noodles and O-Dog and the other guy on Overdrive. They really feel like there's some hijinks afoot. What is going on? So he's sick? Doesn't play the third period in a playoff game? How sick do you have to be? What is the story? We're not saying not suggesting that he could have played and didn't. It's just, what is happening here? And no one's really talking about it. Like, has he got a tickle? Does he need a lozenge? Like, what are we dealing with here?
I would suggest there might be multiple things happening here, but he's clearly not a hundo and was a monster in Game 2. Basically, single-handedly won that contest. They need him going tonight. What they also need is someone to swing a little doubt into the heads of the Boston Bruins. Enter Ryan Reeves. Hey, they gave up a 3-1 lead last year. Sports is a crazy thing. We've all seen some crazy comebacks.
And turnovers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ryan Reeves, a huge contributor on the Bruins 1-0 goal in Game 4.
could he get between the ears without playing? Because that might be the best of both worlds. You remind the Bruins that they blew a 3-1 lead last year. You remind them that sports is crazy, and then he's not on the ice turning over the ball.
I've seen Ryan Reeves win series, but I've also seen reason for Ryan Reeves not to play anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like the Bruins don't seem as intimidated as the Jets a few years back.
Hey, Rhett, how would you say a physical large human would age in pro hockey?
Not well. No, typically you slow down and the wheels fall off and you can't get around very well.
They call it like hard miles. What would you call it?
Too many on the chassis.
Yeah, the chassis needs some work. Ryan Reeves, if you need him, turns 38 next season. 2 years left on his deal.
Great career.
Holy shnikes.
Did you realize he was that old? Or
no. And
is that wild?
3.
This is your one of 3.
Who signed him to that deal?
3.
It's your boy Treleving.
What?
37.
Takes care of himself.
I'm really worried about that bad back or whatever it is that they're going to have to put him on Robota Island for next year.
You can't go on that island. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
Jeez, look out. Look out. Okay, let's move. We're off to a different series. It's Carolina. Please put these dorks to bed. The Islanders, you got one. Congrats. Get out of here. You're in the way. We're waiting for Hurricanes, Rangers. Should be a great series. Get out of the way. Barzal, of course, won their only game, tipping a Bortuzzo point shot in overtime. That's their only victory in the postseason. 5:30 start.
They had a good feel-good moment in the playoffs. Yeah. They made it.
You already had to fly home anyway, Carolina. That's fine. Just win tonight, and you're good.
I'm with you. In a lot of cases, like, hey, let's stretch this series out. No. Don't stretch it out because the
Rangers are
stupid
waiting.
Stuff could happen. Then guys get hurt, and then the Islanders are moving. No staving here. Come on, Rod the Bud.
Come on, Rod the Bud. Next one, back to Winnipeg we go for the whiteout, where it has gotten dark. Ooh. They didn't need Brendan Dillon to cut his hand wide open in a meaningless scrum at the end of the game a couple nights ago, but that did happen. And they just haven't looked themselves. The Avs either have not allowed them to do what they did all season when they were the toughest team to score on, or the Jets just aren't playing well. Maybe both. It's you'd love to just say it's Connor Hellebuyck's fault, but the guy's on the freeway, the amount of rubber he's seeing.
Apparently, in Winnipeg, a lot of tickets on the resale market. There's a lot of
fickle fans,
people who purchased tickets who have suddenly stuff came up tonight and they can't make it.
Wow, it's Tuesday, Dean.
Right? You got
Tequila Tuesday.
Kids got a concert out of left field you got to go to, and it can happen.
What about that guy that had the mountain man warrior kilt wearing?
Yeah, where is that?
Yeah, the whiteout where he's wearing the blue jersey.
Wearing the blue jersey.
Can you get an update on that cycle, please? Yeah.
F that guy.
That guy, they were 1-0.
Speaks for all Jets fans, Dean. He speaks for you all.
Yeah, I've never been to Manitoba. I just assume that's everyone there.
They're a lot of Nordic folk.
Calder Trophy finalists are announced, fellas. Let's have a look. No surprise, Connor Bedard on the left. No surprise, Brock Faber in the middle. Monster minutes for the Minnesota Wild defender. And Luke Hughes gets the welcome to your finishing third place in this trophy conversation. No Connor Zary love in the top 3, but probably not surprising. A very strong rookie campaign, but started late, and the offense really did cool over the final third, didn't it?
Yeah.
Still
a hell of a year.
I like him. Good boy. Clean boy.
Sweet boy.
Dave Haxtell gone in Seattle. Former head of North Dakota.
We never did like the hire.
No, and it just didn't go well in Philly. And it was like, that's an odd hire from Ron Francis, who had an odd expansion draft. And it, they give him an extension and then run him.
And then you know what we were doing? We were eating crow after they made the playoffs. Like, well, you know what? Hey, you stuck it to Narticus, Mr.
Yeah, upset Colorado last year. Val Nichushkin and
the
medical team in the lobby. Then he's back in Russia posing with AK-47s and a G-Wagon. It was a weird series, team.
But in the end, we were right, just like always.
Yeah, I was getting paid for 3 years. That's some good work.
Loser.
Let's go to the WHL. We got an update, friends. Ooh. Portland's taking a lead over the Prince George Cougars, and the Blades and Warriors squared at ones. Retro.
Listen to Les Lazaruk tonight.
Double L
from Moose Jaw.
Speaking of playoffs, the Calgary Wranglers, the Heat's down the hall, Rhett. They did win round one, which was a sort of a best of 3 play-in. Didn't get a home game. Now they will have the first 2 home games of a best of 5. As Coachella Valley, the Firebirds have elected to play games 3, 4, and 5 at home, allowing the Wranglers to host games 1 and 2. They are Friday night and Sunday afternoon. Go get it, fellas. Dustin Wolf, sensational in the opening round. And Matt Coronado. William Stromgren, who was selected ahead of Stankoven, has really looked good since coming over from Europe. That is starting to feel like an interesting storyline that we didn't see coming.
Has he looked as good in the A as Stankoven has in the NHL?
The way you phrase that, I want to say yes. He's not as good as Stankoven at this point. He scored an absolute beauty of a goal that helped them seal that series. He might be a player, fellas, and that's the development here.
Because if he can look as good as Stankoven has at the NHL level, he'll be a great Wrangler.
But keep your head up more, because Stankoven.
Yeah, he's been a great Wrangler in a small sample. Guy to watch for sure, and they'll get started on home ice this weekend. Let's see some fans at the Dome. Playoff hockey. There's a great team. Lots of pieces you'll expect to see on the big club next year. Go get it, fellas.
Fans in the stands?
Hey,
hands?
They played last year? What's the word I'm looking for? A redo?
It's a reunion?
Remuneration?
That's the one.
Rescue?
It's a remuneration.
Search and rescue?
Rinse and repeat. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Rematch.
Nailed it.
Well, he was good early. You can't really critique him.
I can't keep momentum.
I don't know how he's still going. It's really he emptied the tank.
Get that big train moving. It takes a while to slow down.
It's like a horse race. When one horse just around the first.
Yeah.
He's not going to have enough left. He's just
ahead.
No way. Yeah. You're still, still in the lead. You're the MVP so far, MVP of the show, buddy.
Let's put the paddles to him as Tim Nacky, our boy, over $100,000 again.
Day 79, going to blackjack and betting 10 cents for every Instagram follower I got. There are 1,060,000 of you in here now, so $106,000 bet coming right up. Manifest the Millie. Alrighty, it is day 79, and today we have a $106,000 bet going on the line. We will go with side bets again. They seemed to work yesterday for the first time in a long fucking time. 100,000 on the button. We will go 3,000 each of the side bets, and we will hope for the goddamn best here. I think we've had this dealer before, but he gives a strong impression that he hangs out around laundromats, pinching women's undergarments. By God, what a creep. Jacks, it's not bad. We're playing 10, go 10, 10, 10, 21! It's a blackjack day 79! Yes! 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 That's how you want to win them all! Just 2 cards and done, no fucking about! The panty thief is throwing us a blackjack! Oh, I wish I could take it back, but I can't help the fact that's how you look, and we will see you tomorrow when we'll be betting even more one and done for 79. I almost feel bad for calling him a creep, but not really.
Holy shit.
Blackjack.
That's a productive 2 days right there for Tim.
Jeez. Wow. He's doing all right, eh? He's posting pictures now at music festivals, New Orleans, Vegas, traveling around.
So now question, why does the dealer not play past the 12?
I don't know what the rules are in that casino, but they also stayed on a soft 17, which I think over here sometimes they'll hit on. I don't know what that is.
A lot of times you'll stay on a soft set. Regardless of the blackjack, I thought you usually play that out.
Some of them pay out blackjacks before they even play, won't they? Unless it's potential that they have a blackjack. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Either way, the guy's on a heater.
Attaboy.
Let it rip. Attaboy, yeah. Timmy.
Holy cow, that's a big couple days.
It's monstrous. Let's go to some Red Bull athletes. I know, Rhett, you love cycling, and you're a big fan of bike lanes. What about bike loops? This is
they're better than lanes.
7.5 meter concrete pipe of sorts. Let's see what these absolutely insane athletes are going to do. He's testing it out. He's like, yeah, that's a lot. Now they got the pillow in there so he can get the speed right. The drone flying around. Ripping. Oh. That is so insane.
You need some speed.
You gotta have balls so huge. Got a fellow that is very keen on English, not quite great at it, but very keen on it. And he's found some nature videos to narrate. This is the gazelle versus the alligator.
This is a gazelle, the majestic, the wow, the jumping in the ocean like Jesus, astaghfirullah. Oh my God, this is alligator is coming behind you, gazelle. Swim fastly, swim quickly, ya Allah. My blood pressure coming up. Oh, he coming to my boat. Go away. Oh no, he's now going back after the gazelle. And I think he's gonna catch him because alligator is a fish and gazelle is not fish. Why you are in the water, stupid? This is very dangerous situation for the gazelle. Gazelle, go quickly. You have children to look after. Wow, the gazelle almost reaching. Oh my God, the alligator turn on the turbo. He going under the water. He gonna catch him. He gonna catch him. Ya Allah. He gonna catch him now. Oh, kick him in the face. Kick him in the face. Yeah. Oh my God. Alligator is coming quickly. Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Never in doubt. Gazelle over.
No, I think it was quite in doubt for a while.
That's a lot of water.
You know what, though? It's the cardio, right? So lean, not a lot of body fat. They just rely on that cardio. And those alligators, right? There's not short bursts.
How's your cooking show coming?
Laying around all the time. I don't know. I got jambalaya going today.
Is it gator crocodile jambalaya? Let's have a look.
That's
here.
right. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead on and smoke this big old alligator. Let's go. All right, y'all. What I did was I kept it in the brine for 24 hours with my seasoning on it. And now it's time to smoke it. Go ahead on, y'all. Get y'all a sharp knife and cut right down the center of that tail right there now. We're going to go ahead and stuff that dead tail with that boudin now. Go ahead and melt you some butter, y'all, and coat that baby down. Now go ahead and hit it with your Creole mustard.
Creole mustard, Dean.
Hit it with that Cajun seasoning. And some of that blackened seasoning. I got that smoker going, y'all, with that hickory wood. We're going to go ahead on at 250 degrees, and we're going to let it smoke for about a good 5-6 hours. Want the internal temp, y'all, at 165 degrees. All right, y'all, check it out, baby. We're getting started now.
Oh, look at that, Dean. That's delicious.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all, check it out, baby. That's the 1 hour mark right there. All right, y'all, the internal tip's 165, y'all. Come see. Check it out.
Mmm. Delicious. 5 stars would return. Delicious.
Can you get that in Calgary? Like,
I feel like you'd have the market cornered, Dean.
If you had a cookout, August long weekend, boom, boom, and you throw one of those on, what's the crowd's reaction?
You're winning.
There's no crowd. Everyone leaves instantly.
Oh, jeez.
Instantly. Hey, you know what?
Eat that gator.
My garage is on fire. I think I gotta go. See ya. Now you can. Now is it the Grizzly House, right, in Banff? Don't they have that kind of eclectic menu? I think you can eat
snake and
I believe there's alligator on it.
Is that the swinging joint? The one with the phones at all the tables?
Yeah. That's
How you doing?
Is that what that's for?
That's what you do. You call him. You say, "How you doing?"
Hell you doing?
Finally, if your buddy ever falls asleep in a car, make sure you have some smelling salts handy because you can pull pranks and film it on your camera. Get that right in these sunglasses container, Red. Oh boy,
fake.
You're calling fake?
Well, who has that in their sunglasses?
That's our friends before, dude. It's pals.
Red called fake so early. No, I couldn't. I don't even know how to feel
What's
about
fake
it.
about this? He's clearly set up his buddy that's sleeping in the car.
One smelly salt pack
just hide it.
Randomly placed into the.
Is this guy covered in tattoos or these shadows? What's going on here?
I was gonna say, has he got a neck tatty going? Yeah, he does.
Thought he was gonna die. Guy's never been so happy to be alive, Rhett. That's what good friends do.
Gotta stay alert.
Stay alert and stay safe. That's your Pinder Report for Tuesday.
The 2024 Honda Accord, redesigned last year, chosen by Car and Driver magazine as the #1 midsize sedan. It's one of the most reliable vehicles already on the road, and now better than ever. Superior ride quality, reliability, impressive. That's right, impressive fuel economy, thanks to the EXL Hybrid. Take one for a rip, bud. Northwest Auto Mall, online at villagehonda.com. They are your dealership for life.
I'm pressed.
You pressed?
I'm quite pressed by it.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
It's impressive for sure.
Anthony was out at the Cavs game on the weekend.
Was he pressed?
Tony?
Was he pressed with the effort?
Wasn't pressed with the result, but I think he was pressed with the effort.
Yeah.
Tough draw.
Gonna have a little clip for you in a moment.
Clippy, clip, clip.
A little clipperoo. And then do some Betway bets.
Bebe?
4 games tonight. Maybe the last 4 banger of the postseason.
Oh, so glass half empty. You get the right teams winning. You have 4 banger on Thursday. Do this all over again.
I said it's potentially the last, not about being negative or positive. It's about facts. It's a fact, Jack. Impressive. Cal Tire. Hey, listen up. Whether you're an owner operator, small fleet of trucks, Cal Pro Plus, the dedicated tire program just for you. It's a free program, provides access to exclusive deals and savings, price match guarantee, flexible financing options, preferred pricing on everything you drive, even your own family's vehicles. Additionally, you're going to get dedicated member support. It's on hand, answering your questions, recommending, sourcing the best tires for your application and budget. Cal Tire, over 260 stores, there to help you with your tire program so you can just focus on the job and the road ahead. Sign up for free at calproplus.com.
How about Cal?
Wouldn't you like to have somebody? I could use some new tires. You know what?
On it.
Gotcha. What do you mean got me? Well, what kind of work are you doing? What, you get a truck? Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll let you know about the tread and compound and find you the price and tell you, we'll source it and figure out which Cal tire shall we get it brought to you and all that sort of thing. Oh, and did you have a flat? You get one free flat tire repair per year. Yeah. But what about my family's vehicles? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's in there. If you read, and it's free. Yeah, it's free. Yeah.
I'd like a buddy named Cal too.
calproplus.com.
You could trust a Cal for sure.
I had a great uncle. Yeah. It was my dad's uncle. So he would be my great uncle. He was
Cal Ripken, good guy.
Quitter, but yeah. Yeah, Uncle Cal.
That great guy. Got me.
Uncle Cal was he was so cool. He had like the Jack Nicholson slick back hair, always dressed up to the nines, Cadillac, and a stogie.
Really?
It was the best.
This guy didn't have a wife or what? That's living.
No, he was just super cool. Super cool dude. Love that guy. Have you ever done baseball play-by-play, Pinder, in your...
I think we did for that silly beer league game.
Well, there was that, yeah.
Well, I was,
when that poor bastard from the brewery blew out his shoulder, like diving for a ball that was 15 feet away.
Yeah, first swing of the bat. He was trying to
seeing him around. I'm just like, I'm so sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, do you remember? I can't forget you. I see you in my nightmares. Like I could hear your shoulder break from the broadcast booth.
Yeah. We had Adam Lowry out for that game.
Hey, yeah, for sure.
Hey, Lowry was there. We had a lot of dignitaries and luminaries, important people. Shit. I guess the point I was going to make is it's different than doing hockey. Hockey's fast.
Yes.
Bing, bing, bing,
storytelling in baseball.
Right? Football, it's like, woo, you got to kind of ride the wave. Baseball, so many games.
I'll tell you a story about this guy. 1965 goes to the All-Star game.
You got to have stories. Ball one. That's right. Remember John Kruk?
Yep.
Philadelphia Philly, big first baseman, home run hitter, great storyteller. He's color commentary on the Phillies broadcast. You'll see in this clip that the game it's lopsided. So you got to kind of share some old tales from the days of yore. Yeah, here's John Kruk of the Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball. Oh, he burned up his car with the girlfriend, the guy in it.
I tell you that time playing against penitentiary team.
Yeah, that heartwarming story, John. Thanks. So because the lefty is on the mound, that reminded you of that story about the yeah.
I'm not leaving. I don't care if it's 15-0. If he's telling stories like that, I'm going nowhere. He's doing a bang-up job.
Let's get into our Betway bets for tonight. Betway, you get that free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. You get that new account. You sign up. You get the QR code, and then you redeem the bonus. You place a bet. If that bet loses, you'll get a refund up to $200. That's a nice little welcome party gift,
Hello.
Use that to then bet on your favorite sports again. Offer only available outside of Ontario. Yeah, there are some elimination games tonight for sure. I think the Leafs are broken. We know that Matthews isn't 100%. Marner is being criticized. We don't know where Willie Nylander is at. Their D is no good. Boston at home with a chance to clinch. I think it's good night, sweet prince. Bruins by a goal and a half plus 150. And same too for the Carolina Hurricanes. It's been nice. Patty Waugh, nice story and all that. I think the Canes will flex their muscle. They win by more than a goal and a half.
Canes at home? Why not?
Yeah, a couple home teams. Obviously, Bruins, Leafs, that feels like a closer series, but I don't know what's that. Who knows? I don't know what we get out of Toronto. I feel like the Bruins have been pretty consistent, and that's been pretty good.
Yeah.
So give me the Bruins and the Canes minus goal and a half tonight.
You know who's been consistent for the Bruins? Brad Marchand. I'm going to ride him for 2 points tonight. That is plus 225. That is a big number for a guy whose fingerprints have been all over this series. Win or lose, Marchand's 2 points, plus 225. Love it. Also, Colorado kind of feels like how we feel about these other series, just better. Maybe it's an empty netter. Maybe they get 5 again. Maybe they blow out the Jets. Plus 190 on the puck line. Yup. See ya.
Sad.
Hard to argue.
True.
It's not your fault.
It's kind of his fault. It's kind of their fault. I mean,
I'm talking to you. Don't be sad. I mean,
I'm fine. I'll be just fine.
Good.
Create a new account with Betway. Scan that QR code. It's a bonus. Nice bonus. Place a bet. No minimum amount required. If it loses, you'll get that refund up to $200, and then you get to bet again on your favorite sport. Offer only available outside of Ontario. Beautiful stuff. There you go. Closing up the show today, Brendan wants to know, how's the push-up challenge going, Rhett?
Oh, tough one today.
Yeah, I don't know if we had the push-up counter today. Might have been double digits.
Hot.
Yeah. A solid baker's dozen, maybe.
I wasn't that bad. I've been worse.
You've been worse.
Yeah, but since the push-up challenge started, that's the worst you've been.
It's true. Kind of lost focus there.
Yeah.
You're passionate. I love it.
Passionate. Mickey's in there. Blackjack auto win. He flipped the card to see if it's tight. I don't know what I'm thinking.
That's what
It's been a while since I've been playing some blackjack. Yeah, you flip that card. Don't be a blackjack. No, 12.
Perfect.
Oh, boy, that is again.
That's easy street. He had to grind for a while there. He's hitting on 13s and 15s, and 3 4s in a row, all kinds of shit.
You think the exit strategy for him is changing as the balance goes up?
He just keeps winning. Why would he slow down now?
I'll get out at 100 grand. I'll get out at 250.
Well, the new hashtag is manifest the Millie. So if he gets there, we might never hear from this beauty, this legend ever again.
And when you're doubling up every day, was it May 7th is the draft lottery? He may be telling you to beat it.
Is it the 4th or the 5th? He's in New Zealand. He was very keen. He's excited about the Flames, the draft lottery, but he said, "Oh, mate, I'm going to be in NZ."
I see. Jordan from earlier in the show. No one in history has spoken in favor of both sides of a point more than Pinder. Will say anything to argue. Lol.
Yeah, well, great to make it look easy.
Yeah,
it's a talent.
It's a skill that not everyone has. Very few have it. And I got to kind of just sit there for about 15 minutes. It was nice.
I need sunglasses that when I fall asleep,
sleep at night or after the show. That's the move.
From K-Man. Hey, boys. Barn Burner Blondes. Huge hit camping this weekend. Just a heads up. It's always time for camping. Red number 1. I don't know what that means.
I've seen that a couple times now.
I think it's just the emoji that they put in, and for some reason it comes up as the finger red number 1.
Okay. That would make sense.
More sense. Yeah, hey, look, we don't have to camp, but if you're camping, you absolutely should be hammering the triple B.
Yeah, you ain't gonna sleep if you don't have a couple.
That's right.
You can go lie on roots. I would advise drinking a lot of Barn Burner Blondes before you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if this snowed. Do you think they got that out in Strathmore? Think the Origin boys had to throw the brakes on because they were seeding.
I would think that most of the farmers in the country are ecstatic with this.
Some moisture. Moist. A friend of mine, my buddy Snoop, his wife Mary, she cannot handle when people say the word moist.
Yeah, Chrissy's got a friend like that too. David Hale's wife.
If we're sitting around the summertime, getting together, camping around the campfire, if somebody says moist, you might be wearing a drink. It just really sets her off. There's another one too. I forget what friggin'
sounds like a keeper.
What word is it? She's great. He's an idiot. He can leave, but she's awesome. Yeah.
The SNOOP DOGGY, the DOGG, you see?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's a nice guy. I mean, she's way out of his league. So over his skis. Unlike the rest of us. Well, tomorrow, Wednesday, Jamie McLennan.
Nudes.
If he shows up.
Yeah.
Hosting kind of stuff on the panel last night.
Yeah. Boy, what if the Leafs lose tonight?
Be great.
If you want peak like drama, they need to give you a hint that they might be able to turn this around and then collapse. It's
at
just
home.
It's kind of like the action movie. Can't be the obvious. Then he saves the day. There's got to be another hurdle no one saw coming.
I do enjoy the crowd shots of whatever Raptors center outside the rink there.
Yeah.
Where it's like, woo, youpee doo, wee oo wee, and then inevitably just
Sid is not watching the game, so just keep that in mind.
Who's not watching?
Sid.
Yeah.
6-0? What are we talking?
Is he not?
He's made a statement.
Is that right?
Huh. They're gonna do -1 in the ratings. Let's hit him right in the pocketbook.
Yeah, right. What are they gonna do? That's right. Because you know what? Win tonight, lose in Toronto.
Oh, perfect for their 7th consecutive home loss in the playoffs.
Would be good. Would be real good. Gives us another game.
Yeah.
Oh, they righted they figured it out.
Yeah.
This Keefe guy, he's got to dial.
They don't hate each other. Look at them high-fiving after goals.
They're laughing, having a heck of a good time. And Matthews, he looks great.
And then they're chanting, "We want Florida at Maple Leaf Square." It's just beautiful. You guys, please. Wouldn't it be great?
Yeah. The thing about the chat is you'll get all kinds of people. You never know, because anyone that if they're watching on Facebook or YouTube, they're free to put in the chat. So all kinds of riffraff and
might stumble into the show at weird
dirt bags might just jump in.
Oh boy, George
Sweetland. Rhett, where are you? I'm in Philly drinking beer. So you didn't make the trip.
You know what? I still might make the trip. I'm going to take my barn burners and share them with Georgie.
It's 2:08 there. I'm not going to give Georgie any heat. If it's a nice day in Philly, you crank a few, Georgie.
It's 80 in Philly, and the
perfect.
Phillies play tonight.
I don't know what that means. So now, when did the shoveler leave?
About 3 hours ago.
Yeah. So not there yet.
No, 6 hours.
You could fly and tire.
So why is Sweetland there already pounding beers by himself? Because I assume he's by himself because he's a loser.
Georgie does.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a loser, but Georgie's focused on what does Georgie right, and I think Georgie does right most days.
Yeah.
Lines up the barley sandwiches and has a buffet.
Play to your strengths. Don't deviate from the path. It's not a terrible idea.
Yeah.
80 in a patio beer right now? Goodness.
Yeah.
I had to shovel this morning.
Go to the ball game, please. Check out one of Frank's hot spots for a roast pork.
Yeah, go have a roast pork. Listen to John Kruk tell stories. You know he's got one nut?
Yeah.
Old Krucker? That's true. I'm remembering that correctly, right?
I think that rings a bell for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's either him or one of the other guys. Who had the really greasy mullet that was his teammate?
Well, there was
Aaron, or sort of the D.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, they did a tour of the old room where they, after games, they'd be like, oh, yeah, and this guy would be getting worked on here, and then he'd be hammering beers here, and this guy be drinking here, and there's the ice bath here, that guy be drinking beer there. Like,
we had Lenny Dykstra.
Then
there was Darren Dalton.
Dalton, Dykstra, and Kruk. What a bunch. That is unbelievable.
There we go. Yeah.
Those guys could put back a few Georgie Sweetland specials.
Was Dalton the bouncer?
Might have been. He's a big dude.
No, the movie.
The Roadhouse?
Yeah.
Have you seen the new one?
No.
Neither have I.
And I'm not gonna.
What about Fall Guy?
Have not seen Fall Guy either.
Did you watch the show when you were younger?
No.
I loved the show.
Don't remember.
The Fall Guy. He was a stunt man because I loved his truck. Oh,
sounds right.
I gotta look here.
It's on brand.
Had a short box GMC or Chevy pickup, two-tone brown lift kit, big rims and tires. I friggin' love that truck. Lee Majors was the Fall Guy. Weekly 1 hour kind of deal. And now they're doing the movie. I don't know how they plucked the Fall Guy out from thin air, but
what
it's
a truck.
Ryan Gosling and
well, they can't come up
Blunt.
with new ideas.
Olivia Blunt. Olivia Blunt.
Jumping through the air.
Yeah. Love that truck. Thus, like the show, I wonder if this it might be the first movie I go to see in about 8 years.
Wow, it's a while.
Yeah,
Well, I went to that movie that you said was going to be so good, and
Civil War, it sucked.
I don't know if I said.
Someone was geeked on it. I don't know if it was Dino.
it was awful.
Heather Thomas was in the Fall Guy TV show. I think you might be right, Willie.
Who's this Heather Thomas?
I had the poster up in my bedroom.
Yeah, you did, you creep.
Yeah, I did. Heather Thomas, and the truck was in the background. So I mean, I was in love.
Heather.
I was in love. Did you ever have any girly posters?
I had one letter from the Les Jackson, the Minnesota North Stars.
What? That was your girly poster? A letter from Les Jackson?
The only thing I had pinned up in my room.
And what did it say?
Ultra focus team. Ultra focus.
On your career?
Yeah.
Ultra focus, Rhett. That's what he wrote down for you?
Mm-hmm. He said, quit hanging out with skids.
And you ignored him.
Oh, there it is.
Now we're just checking our phones.
No, I found the poster. This is the poster.
No one cares about you. Your post.
I think people do care about me, even though you guys don't. I know you guys don't.
I have a hard time believing that they care. But who am I to say? Let's see it.
People watch the show every single day. I think they're rather fond of it. Thus, by connection, fond of the show, fond of us. No? Guess not. I put Jack, I put something in my file there for you. It was for you today. Did you not see it?
Something with the Steelers?
Oh, I got it, yeah.
Why don't you give that while we're doing some feel good here to wrap the show? Look at this. Look at this. Pro
look at
football
this. Look what the nerds are saying, Rhett.
Oh,
look at that, Retro.
Nerd alert!
Have dominated the draft 2 years in a row. A+ 2023 and 2024.
And you know what else they did great last year? And Pinder can back me up with this because he's the one that brought it to my attention. They effing dominated preseason.
They were so good.
So good.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. What's his name? Old Kenny Pickett, who you don't have any time for. He was the next coming to Joe Montana in the preseason.
Why are we playing?
For the regular season there, big stud.
Yeah. Franchise player.
Where's he now?
Yeah.
He's Philly.
Backing up.
Right.
With Frank.
Yeah, that's right. He's with Frank.
Hurts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank Durst?
Fred Durst?
That's probably better.
Pinder, any posters?
I would have for sure. I have no idea. I feel like there's got to be a Cindy Crawford or something like that, but I don't. My brain. I've killed a lot of brain cells since then.
What's wrong with you?
I had Daisy Duke in her Daisy Dukes and Heather Thomas from the Fall Guy that I recall off the top of my head. Did you ever watch Dukes of Hazzard there, Ryan?
A little bit here or there. And it was not my age, but it was definitely on one of those higher up channels when cable got bigger.
Yeah.
These used to be popular a decade ago shows.
Feels like a bit of a shot.
Partridge Family'd run after it or something. I don't know.
Catherine Bach. Are you going to call this up,
Shiner Bach?
Jack, or what are we doing here? Christ, I went and found it, uploaded it. No, Jack's not going to.
It's nice.
There she is.
Hello.
Jody.
Autographed. Yeah.
And And the truck in the background. Dude.
The truck in the background.
Who says you can't be in love twice at the same time?
Oh man, so good. Do you think is that a thing anymore? Do you think if you go into
posters
rooms, you'd have
my kid's got a McDavid one on the bottom side of the top bunk, so you can look up and he hides it. He's got a McDavid poster. Not a fan of that whole thing, but he's definitely knows how to get under his dad's skin.
Are you his parent or what's happening here?
Yeah, I feel like there's lines to be drawn. He is allowed to use his own allowance money to buy posters at the school book fair.
What a discipline that child.
Jack, you going to show me the truck? I can see it. It's been sitting there. I don't know why you're not showing it.
Just show him the truck, Jack, so we can get out of here.
Look at it. Although I think that's an
extended
kind of a reasonable facsimile. Yeah, it's a short box, and that one's got some whiskey dings in the box there. He's trying though.
Yeah,
I'd take it for a rip.
For a rip, are you, bud?
Yeah.
You need an old vehicle, something to tinker on.
Yeah, you need some tinkering time. You got those ramps just rusted in that garage here.
Yeah.
If only you bought that truck he told you to, right?
No, that one was too. That didn't need to be tinkered on.
It was tinkered. It was done. A full nut and bolt restoration, Ryan. Everything.
Pinder, you just extended the show another 15.
Yeah, I got to record Department of Discipline at 1. This is no good.
Everything. Full frame off, not just everything. Black, beautiful, short box.
I know where it is.
Chase that thing down. Go get it.
Probably double what you could have got it for that day.
Oh, that hurts.
I would think.
It'd be double.
Like everything in life. Nenshi.
Yep.
Frickin' Nenshi.
Yeah.
Making the price of remodeled trucks at auctions double.
That's
restored vehicle pricing.
Nenshi.
Bullshit, yeah. See you, buddies.